This is the fourth in a series of videos that look at holistic design in flexible delivery. This specific video deals with pedagogic issues in a fairly brief way. Previously, we've talked about the notion of a holistic approach considering organisational, technological and pedagogic concerns. We've talked about the idea of a program cycle and the need for development plans to consider all aspects of this cycle. We've looked at the Bates and Poole sections model for the selection of media, and we've looked at the Berson model for program design. A feature of all of these models is consideration of learners, teachers, and pedagogy. In this video, I'm going to use the headings as used by Berson of program type, learners, teaching and learning as an organising framework. In terms of program type, it's important to consider the nature of the outcomes required when considering design. Are those outcomes of a skills, knowledge or attitudinal nature, or a composition of all three? Are the outcomes of the program type intended to be short or long term? What is the stability of the knowledge base that is being considered? What is the complexity level of the knowledge base being considered? And are there any regulatory requirements that need to be considered in the design? In terms of teaching and learning, we might think about the nature of the teaching and learning approach that is being used. Is the proposed approach a transmission approach which will tend to promote surface and short-term learning? Is it about the construction of knowledge which will tend to produce a more deep form of learning and understanding of the contexts in which one is working? Or is it of a transformational nature which leads to changes in views about how the learner sees the world? In addition, we need to consider the learning style and preferences so that when it comes to design, we can appeal to those learning styles and preferences which are dominant for the learner group. However, it is fair to say that where the learner group is large, there will be a diversity, and therefore program design should be for that diversity rather than appealing to a specific approach. In terms of the specific learners, who are they? How many are there? What is their highest level of educational achievement, their levels of literacy and numeracy, as well as their access to technology and their technological literacy? Is their motivation internal or external? For those with internal motivation, one can expect a higher level of involvement and effort. For those with an external motivation, one can expect a lower level of participation and lower level of effort. And finally, how much time is available to the learners? Are these learners that are full-time? Are they adults with families working? And so on and so forth. In summary, in the first of this series of videos, we looked at the holistic model of design for flexible delivery. In the next three, we looked at organisational perspective, a technological perspective, and in this one, a pedagogic perspective. In the next video, we'll change tack a little bit, looking at the sorts of variables that characterise flexible delivery programs and the sorts of models that can be used to describe flexible delivery programs. Finally, we'll look at some conceptual models that would allow us to theorise flexible delivery models in a deeper fashion.